Water continues to rise in the Skiatook area where some people today evacuated their homes, either walking out or in boats. We brought you live coverage of some of those rescues at noon. Fox 23's Rick Maranon continues our live coverage for us with just how bad things got on the east side of Skiatook. Rick.
Clay, you ever get that overwhelming feeling that something is wrong when you see it? I want to show you. We got a sickening feeling coming over the hill because this is Bird Creek on the east side of Skiatook. We are standing in the middle of Highway 20 right now, and the water is continuing to rise. On the other side of this water and through the trees, that is downtown Skiatook, where people were evacuated from their homes and businesses today by an airboat. And I'm told more people were also just worried about what they're going to come back to once all of this goes away. They were rescued from their homes.
I said, I got to get somebody with a boat to get us out of here.
And businesses.
We were fighting it, but it started coming in the drive-through window. So we just couldn't stop it no more.
For the first time in decades, if ever, Skiatook residents needed a boat to get out of the path of some of the worst flooding the town has ever seen.
There was no way you could get out without a boat.
I found Carla Lyman just moments after she stepped off of an airboat that just rescued her. She says she stayed put as long as she could, but quickly realized this wasn't just another heavy spring storm when the water wasn't around the house, but inside her house.
It's a disaster area. It was coming up in our bathroom. It was coming up through our back door in our trailer. It's all over the place. Coming up through the vents.
In addition to 2 trailer parks and some homes, businesses along the eastern part of the main street, W.C. Rogers also fell victim. Sam Little's family has owned the Tasty Freeze since the 1960s and says this is the only time he's ever had to leave the store in a boat.
I've been down there for a long time. You know, I've been through a lot of floods. It's just deeper than we ever had.
And then there's Jonathan Martin, whose family found themselves go from being on the edge of disaster to being in the middle of it.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know. We're about to graduate, so that's all I'm worried about right now.
Jonathan and his family were seen around noon rescuing their valuables and their pets as they finally realized the water was going to get too high for comfort.
This is just something downhill, but you gotta go take it right back up.
I can tell you, if you need to get into the Skiatook area, there is just roads from the south and the west. If you need to come in from the east or the north, it is almost impossible because Highway 11 looks very similar to Highway 20 that I'm standing on right now. So, for example, in order for us to get here on the east side of Skiatook, we had to travel west and south in order to come to the north and east of where I was on Fox 23 News at noon. Reporting live outside of Skiatook, covering news that matters. I'm Rick Maranon on Fox 23 News.
Wow, just unbelievable seeing all that. For the first time in decades, if ever, people had to be rescued by boat in Skiatook. Water is expected to rise 6 to 7 more feet tonight before it begins to recede. Fox 23's Rick Maranon has been in Skiatook to witness these rescues. He's live now with a look at conditions at Bird Creek. Rick.
Well, it's called Bird Creek on an average day, but I think we can call this new Skiatook Lake. Take a look. This is the east side of all of this flooding out here on Highway 20, and we are still more than a mile out of town. On the other side of this, the other bank, that is downtown Skiatook, and I can tell you that it is a problem all along Highway 11, the north-south highway that runs through here, all the way from Avant to Skiatook and even down to Sperry. Things in northern Tulsa County went south quickly.
I said, I got to get somebody with a boat to get us out of here. There was no way you could get out without a boat.
Carla Lyman had to be rescued from her home in eastern Skiatook, where Bird Creek spilled over its banks and began to creep towards downtown. She believes the damage will be catastrophic based simply off what she saw before she was ushered onto a fan boat turned lifeboat.
It's a disaster area. It was coming up in our bathroom. It was coming up through our back door in our trailer. It's all over the place. Coming up through the vents.
Residents fled their homes in one way or another as the waters rose. Jonathan Martin was focused on graduating from high school this week. Now he's just trying to get out of high water.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know. We're about to graduate, so that's all I'm worried about right now.
Down the road in Sperry, it's not much better. Residents began to jokingly call their town Sperry Island after only one road was passable.
These last 2 days have been ridiculous. You know, many years ago, Sperry used to have a problem with flooding all the time. Haven't seen this in quite some time.
Just like in Skiatook, State Highway 11 in Sperry also fell victim to nearby creeks and streams that simply can't take anymore. Adam Steng is the pastor at Sperry Christian Church and says his church is ready with food and a place for anyone to sleep if they need it.
We're definitely concerned about it. People going to and from work, you know, they still need to make a paycheck and be able to support and serve their families.
Highway 20 is one of the main thoroughfares into Skiatook. Obviously, you're not going to find an easy way in or out of town. I can tell you there was only one road we were actually able to take to get around the flooding safely, and that took us all the way down to Turley, and then we had to come back up Highway 75. You will need to plan. Some of the apps have updated those road maps to say what's closed and what's not, but either way, plan ahead and make some time to get around this flooding if you need to come out here at all. Reporting live in Skiatook, covering news that matters, I'm Rick Maranon, Fox 23 News.
All right, Rick.